So, you want to make money on Vinted, but you're lost. Good that you found this video. Vinted is one of the easiest and fastest working side hustles out there. Why is it so easy? Getting products for reselling is easy and Vinted is really easy to use. Also, you probably know about this one, but you pay no taxes, at least in the state I live right now. In this video, I will talk about what to resell, what mistakes you should avoid, and share with you some of my best tips on how to sell almost anything on Vinted and increase your sales. Let's get into it. First, what to resell. On Vinted, you can resell all sorts of things, such as electronics, books, clothes, toys, etc. Let's talk about every one of these types of assortments. Electronics. These are really good to resell because everyone needs to buy new headphones from time to time and even a new phone once in a while. Of course, you need to be extremely careful when buying electronics from other people because there is a lot of scammers out there who are selling one-to-one replicas. You might even think to resell replicas yourself, but here is the problem. It is super easy to find out if the products are real or fake. So the best thing you can do is to tell people that the product you're selling is replica. Absolutely don't lie to your customers. A, your account would get banned after a while. B, you don't want to build a business on scamming people. I know that it sounds good having a consistent way of getting supplies for reselling, but these things don't work well on Vinted. I knew someone who ordered AirPods from Vinted. The seller told him that the AirPods were real, but after the person checked them, he realized that they were fake. The person who sold them the AirPods blocked the buyer, but fortunately the Vinted support is a quality one, so they helped him to get the money back. And they even let him have the AirPods, and the seller probably got banned. Books. You probably haven't bought a single book from Vinted. Books are, to be honest, a little harder to sell on Vinted. From my personal experience, it takes a long time to get my books to sell. But when they sell for a good price. You might think that for books, you could use websites that specify on used books only. Well, if you can find a way to get used books for really cheap, you possibly could. But the thing with these sites is that it usually takes a long time to ship the books. It takes some time to sell the books and it takes some time before you get your money. And they keep some percentage, of course. So sometimes it is worth to sell your books on Vinted because you can sell it for higher prices and you keep all the money. If you watched this video this far, comment Vinted in the comments so I know who is the real G. Let's continue. If you want to know how certain products sell Vinted, I will talk about it later in the video. Clothes. Vinted is actually an app made for selling old clothing people don't need, and the best part of selling clothes is that people buy almost weekly some new clothing, especially women. If you want to focus on one gender, I would recommend women because they obviously buy a lot of clothing every week. Of course, there are some exceptions where to actually get clothes. On Vinted, you can find the best deals because there is still a big amount of people who just want to get rid of old clothes, so they sell them for low prices. Of course, you need to count with the fees and shipping, but there is just so many new clothes being added to Vinted every day. There is unlimited new opportunities. Now, I'm gonna tell you how I get the best deals on Vinted and resell them. First, let's say that I want to resell the North Face jacket. I put that into the browser in Vinted and then I simply check the new posts as often as possible. I don't want to miss any good opportunities to make money. When there is a jacket for a low price and in good condition, you usually don't have much time before someone buys it faster. So sometimes I try to offer them lower price. But of course, when the price is already low enough, I buy it immediately. It's best to buy it immediately because then you can text with the seller for more information, and if you will find out something about a product that you don't like, you can cancel the package. As I'm reselling Lego, I always buy it as fast as possible, and then when texting with them, I ask them if there are any minifigures and I usually ask them to send it as soon as possible. Thrift stores. Thrift stores are usually very cheap and you can find good deals in them. If you have any cheap thrift stores in your area, go and try to find something. For many people, it is the best way to get clothes and things for reselling, and the reason is that you don't have to wait for it to be shipped to you and it's quick. But there are also people who don't like going to thrift stores because sometimes they don't smell good, and when searching for the prices online, sometimes people look at you weirdly that you're holding your phone all the time. Unfortunately, in my area, there is no good thrift store. I have been to a few and they smelled bad or they were expensive and there were no deals. Supplier. Having a supplier that sends you clothes and you don't have to stress about finding it yourself sounds pretty good. Not gonna lie, there are some things you should know about before getting a supplier. Many suppliers on the internet are low quality or the shipping takes many days and sometimes even months. The high quality suppliers don't supply hundreds of people because it's not possible. What you should take from this is this. Be extremely careful from who you are buying from and always try to check the supplier somewhere on the internet. Comment supplier and I will create a video about suppliers and help you with it. Toys. Toys made me pretty good money on Vinted. I would guess around $1,000. And here is my know-how. 70% of toys don't sell good or for high prices. Plushies are a total no-go. They take too much space and simply most of the people don't want to cuddle with a used plushie, so they rather buy a new one. The prices people are willing to give for plushies are also really low. Once I tried to resell 70 plushies and they only got sold for $25 to one person, and I had to send it in 2 big boxes, so it totally wasn't worth it. Nerf guns. These are my favorite because I have sold some Nerf guns myself and made good money. But Nerf pistols are again not selling for much, so it'll be worth it only if you can get them for cheap. Lego. Lego is my personal best-selling toy on Vinted. I buy it also on Vinted and sometimes I even resell Lego for 6 times more than for what I bought it. It probably sounds good, but the process is actually pretty tiring. You have to sort the Lego to unoriginal and original one. Then you have to clean it. These two things usually take more than 2 days of work. Now I'll tell you my best tip on how to sell Lego for more. First, divide all the Lego you have into groups of 2 to 3 kilograms each. Then when making photos, place all the Lego of the pack on the floor. You want to take all the minifigures and other interesting things from the pack and place it on the top of the mix so on photos it is visible. Good lighting is absolutely important, but I'm sure you already know that. If you're selling 2 kilograms, I wouldn't price it below $50, but the price will always be different because of the amount of the minifigures and other things in the mix. If in the mix are some valuable things such as dragon, cars, ships, or airplanes, don't be afraid of showing it in the price. Of course, these weren't all the things you can sell on Vinted, but these were the items I can give you advice with. Now, when you heard some examples of what you can resell, now is the time to talk about what mistakes to avoid on Vinted so you don't get scammed or maybe even worse, banned. First important thing to avoid, especially when starting, is to not sell to people through the button buy. Many people just text me every week if I could send them the thing different ways than through Vinted. And I do this only when selling small things because there's a lot of scammers out there and you don't want to be scammed of something with big value. But if you still think about sending the product a different way, look at the reviews the buyer has. Only sell the products this way to people who have almost perfect ratings. Being mean. Being mean to someone won't make you more money, so even if you're angry at someone, text them with empathy and understanding. If someone is mean to you and is really toxic, you can report them and Vinted will notify them, and if it happened earlier, they can get banned. Texting people if they are interested in buying the item. This is one of the most annoying things you can do. If people wanted to buy your item, they already would. This will only result in people disliking your item. Instead, when someone likes your item, you can offer them lower price. I heard that you can try to text the people that you're gonna ship other packages the same day, so if they bought it, they would get it sooner. But that never worked for me because yeah, I tried all these things I am talking about here, and the thing with texting them if they are interested worked for me only once. And now I will share with you some of my best tips on how to increase sales from my experience. First thing I do is really top secret. If you're not getting sales, try to uninstall Vinted and then install it again. I did it and got a sale an hour later. And that happened many times again. Maybe it was a coincidence, but you'll see for yourself. Second tip. Repost your products every 3 days. You may know how this one works, but I will repeat it for those who might not understand it yet. Every time you post something on Vinted shows it on the top when someone searches for the thing. So after 3 days, your listing might be so down that not many people have the chance to discover it. Third tip. The one really changed my views on my listings. When writing a title, try to think about what people actually type in the search bar and use all the space in the title. Write as many words as possible to get most views. Fourth tip. Have you thought about what day is the best for getting the best deals on Vinted? Of course, it is the weekend, most accurately Sunday. On Sundays, I usually find the best deals for reselling. Once I found a Lego for $20 and sold it for 6 times more. Fifth tip. The one is again hard to tell if it actually works, but I have seen a TikTok video where a woman was saying that if you turn your Vinted into a holiday mode for a few days and then switch it back, Vinted will push your products more. She also mentioned that you shouldn't just turn the holiday mode many times a day because you don't want Vinted to find out that people use this method. Sixth tip. If you're being serious about reselling, try to focus only on one type of product. It may be clothing or toys because when people know that you're selling the same type of product, it is likely that they will follow you and that is what you want. They can even recommend your Vinted to their friends who look for some good pieces of clothing or whatever. Now, I'll tell you my story. It took me about 6 months before I figured out how to resell and what things work. I started with selling Yeezy slides and I sold them for $4 profit. And I wasn't probably thinking much, so I bought another 2 pairs and I resold them for almost no profit. Maybe like $1. I know what you're thinking, but when I started to sell my old things, I figured out what sells the fastest. That was Lego, and selling things I don't use made me around $500 in 1 week. I even tried reselling things from Temu and Shein, and to be honest, if you don't have any other option, try it. It works, but finding the good selling products is extremely hard. You have to simply follow trends and count with the part of the year you're in. Selling sunglasses made me double profit. I even sold some grippers and many flip-flops. Reselling is a lot about consistency, and please don't give up. I had some downfalls myself, and to this day, I lose money sometimes because I think that something will sell and in reality it didn't sell. With that comes always buy a small amount of the product. Test selling it, and if it works well and sells fast for a profit that is worth the effort, then go and buy a bigger amount. As I said earlier in the video, there is a free way to find out how fast certain products are selling. Here's the method. You search for your product on Vinted and then favorite the newest items. And when it will get sold, you will get notification. You can do this many times and it's good because you can test many products like that. But I recommend to keep all the money you make and keep circulating the money on buying new products and making more. Don't go and buy a new iPhone when you will have the money, because it's always good to have some pillow of money that you can use if needed. This will maybe sound obvious, but when you are starting, try to go only for the highest possibilities on reselling. Only buy the cheapest things you can find. The lower the price you buy your product for, the lower the risk and the amount of lost money if the product won't sell. Also, don't stress. All the side hustles are about patience and thinking with clear mind. You can see all the people on TikTok that resell on Vinted and make thousands of dollars a month on Vinted, but they didn't get to that level overnight. It was a long process of ups and downs, and even they lost some money in the process. So I gave you my know-how and you're ready to start your own reselling journey and make some good money. Feel free to rewatch this video more times and make some notes. This is what I usually do with educational videos that share a lot of information. If you like this video and want to support me, the best ways you can do this is through writing a comment, liking, and of course giving a subscribe so you don't miss out on my best videos. By doing these things, you will show YouTube that they should push my videos to more people who want to start reselling or maybe just want to start a side hustle. That's all for today. See you in the next video.